pleasure to have you here for your Glow Up appointment. I'm going to be your consultant today. My name is Lila. It's my pleasure. Are you excited? Perfect. So I need you just where you are. We're going to get started straight away. No messing around. I want you to get your money's worth out of this appointment. Now, what I do want to start by doing is just a little observation of you. Okay, so don't feel too much pressure. Just make yourself comfortable and relaxed. I'm just going to be looking at your hair, your skin, your makeup. Okay? Now you'll have to forgive me if I am making some notes. Again, don't feel uncomfortable at all. This is a judgment-free zone. We're here to help you improve yourself and maximise your potential, okay? Yes. Alrighty. Just very quickly, I do want to ask you one question. Do you have a budget in mind for the... Okay. So kind of mid-range, not too expensive, but nothing more. Okay. That's fine. I like to make sure we are making recommendations within our clients' means. Yes. Alrighty, so you stay there for me, sweetheart. I'm just going to have a little look around, see what I think we may be able to improve on for you. But I must say, you are incredibly beautiful. Absolutely stunning. Yes. Okay, so I'm just going to do a little walk around. Okay. Do you mind if at any point I do touch you? Okay. To ask you a question. Could you check your shoes for me? There's a smell that seemed to follow you in. They're clean? Bear with me one moment. Did you put deodorant on this morning? Okay, no stress. We've all been there, but I do have something for you, okay? Just give me one moment. Unfortunately for you, the Dossier Black Friday sales start November 1st, where you can enjoy up to 50% off all month long. They offer designer-inspired fragrances for a fraction of the price, and with the holiday deals incoming, you'll be saving even more. If you want to smell more like me, try Dossier's Ambery Vanilla, inspired by Black Opium, or Ambery Cedarwood, inspired by Alien. Or maybe even try your favourite celebrity-inspired perfume. They have a huge range to check out and choose from. Keep an eye out for Dossier's amazing sales. Okay, I'm going to give you this one to take away. It's woody sandalwood and is inspired by Santal 33. Do you mind if we just spray a little on you now? Okay. If you just want to pop your arms up for me. Thank you. And then pop the neck up. Okay. I'll pop it back in the box. Think of it as a goodwill gesture. Okay. Right, I'm just going to start by asking you a couple of questions. I mean, as we've already kind of half covered smell and scent, I assume you are a deodorant user. Perfect. Are there any scents that you do like? In terms of, do you prefer a more feminine scent, a more masculine, or do you like a unisex? You like a mix, unisex? Well, that is good because the one I have given you is more of a unisex scent. Yes. I mean, the best fragrances for a more unisex scent typically are on the higher budget. So there's things like the Tom Ford range. A lot of those are quite a unisex style scent, but it's whether you would like. Okay, that's fine. Just covering hair. Now, how are we normally styling our hair? Okay, and do we have a hair wash routine? Yeah. Okay, well maybe we could consider bringing a hair wash day back. Yeah. And the products that we're using, what products? So that could be from shampoo and conditioner to then a heat protectant, any styling sprays or creams. Head and shoulders. Okay. Yeah, I definitely consider possibly using more of a salon style brand, just so we can make sure we're keeping our hair in good condition. We can recommend a few brands for you, yeah? Okay, so heat protectants. Okay, so just Tresemme. And any styling products? No? No oils? Okay, so again, we're going to recommend potentially a styling cream and an oil as well. Okay, now let's just discuss colour a little bit. Now, just having a little look at your hair, it is very dull, in the most polite way. It's just lacking some depth. Have you considered a hair colour change, or is that not something we're wanting to kind of experiment with? Okay. I mean, I say that to you now with my hair completely lacking any depth. I'm fully aware it needs to be done, and you'll have to ignore the grey hairs that are coming through at the front as well. Yeah, I mean, I definitely, maybe not so much highlights or anything like that. It's just when we're, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of very, like dusty looking. Okay, so colour considered. We do have a hair specialist, so we would be able to have you do a consult with her. Yeah, consultation. I just think with your skin tone, something with more of, not red, but like a gingery undertone would suit you so well, especially with your face shape as well. Okay, skincare. Do you have a skincare routine? Okay, so it's pretty much just a moisturiser. Alright. And what moisturiser is it that you're using? Okay, so that moisturiser does, so there's two. Okay, so the first moisturiser you said does have vitamin C, which is good, and the second one you said does have hyaluronic acid, so again, that is good. Yeah, do you have a nighttime routine, or is it, so it's just those two, one's in the morning, one's at night? Okay, I would potentially recommend bringing in a retinol into the mix. It doesn't need to be used every day, sort of every 2 to 3 days. Okay, and makeup. Oh, don't get me wrong, I'm not looking like this day to day. There are days where I'm makeup free in a sweatshirt and sweatpants, so yeah. I mean, with being a glow up specialist, you kind of have to look a little put together when you come and see clients. Yeah, it's all an illusion. Okay, so you don't prefer heavy makeup, you're more kind of just a concealer, a little bit of mascara. Okay, that's not a problem for day to day. I mean, if you're wanting some advice for makeup that you could use for like a special occasion or an event, I can definitely give you some tips. Okay, yeah. That's fine. And positive news, with makeup I do, all my recommendations are pretty much drugstore brands, so nothing that's ridiculously out of budget for anybody. Right, jewellery. I notice you're not wearing any earrings. Are you do have the piercings, yes, when you can be bothered to put them in. Are you a gold or a silver or? Yeah? I mean, I mix golds and silvers dependent on the time of year, depends on what suits me best. Yeah, so I've got gold earrings in, I've got silver bracelets, my necklaces are gold, but okay, so you do like earrings. Are you a fan of necklaces at all or bracelets? Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm really awful for never taking my jewellery out. I never take my earrings out, I never take my bracelets off, I never take my necklaces off unless I'm changing which necklace I want to wear. Yeah, there's one bracelet I have, let me show you. This silver one, I've had this on for probably about 7 years. The only time I took it off was actually recently, a few weeks ago, to switch what wrist it was on. And I didn't even unclip it, I just slipped it off and slipped it on the other put. Okay, so jewellery, that's fine. And clothing. What colour clothing do you feel suits you best? And are you open to changing the style of clothing you wear, or do you like, what do you feel most comfortable in now? Yeah. Okay. So we could bring. We don't have to, when we're bringing colour into a wardrobe, we don't have to do it in a really obnoxious way. So I'm not going to say, if you're comfortable wearing black clothes, so am I, that's fine. I'm not going to give you a bright pink jumper and say, here you go, put that on. We would bring it in small amounts. So what I like to do to experiment is, if I'm wearing a darker outfit, so say for now I've got my black top on and a pair of black leggings, what I would normally pair it with is a pair of black heeled boots. But if you're wanting to make something slightly more casual, maybe bring in a pair of shoes or trainers that have a little bit of colour. So for example, I have a pair of Campus that are a maroon colour and a gum sole, or I have a pair of Converse low tops. They're not the same style as the high tops, they're slightly chunkier, but they're bright blue. So sometimes bringing a pop of colour, maybe in the shoes. Yeah, when it's a larger piece of clothing, so it covers a larger surface area like a top or bottoms, when you put it on you can sometimes feel like, oh, I'm not really sure about this. Yeah, and when you feel more confident, you'll start bringing more things in. So for example, even though I'm wearing all black today, I have a bright pink long formal coat that when it's a bit chilly outside, I will put on, and wearing the black underneath kind of tones it down a little bit, but you will start to feel more comfortable to bring those kinds of things in. Yeah. Okay, is there anything you would really like me to show you? Okay, so eye makeup. Of course I can. So what kind of eye makeup are we talking? Something like how I have mine? Yeah, this is my go-to at the moment. It's like a messy, smoky, kind of grungy look almost. Yeah. Now I'm just going to work out, now I use the colours I use because I have green eyes. Now just trying to work out your eye colour and what would suit you best. I mean, I think we could probably use the same as what I have on. can give it a go. Do you want me to try it on you now, or? Of course I can. Right, let me just grab my makeup. Right, so what I use to achieve this look is a couple of things, but what I start with is this eyeshadow palette. Now, this is actually from Shein, or Shein, however it is pronounced, so not going to any major expenses. I use these brushes. I can't quite remember the brand. Real Technique is the brand, and it actually came in their travel sized, and it came in a pack with, I think there was 12 brushes, and it was on sale, so you can always find good sales for Real Technique brushes, and they are fairly affordable. I think it cost me £30 for that pack of 12, and especially coming up to the time of the year we are in now, with Black Friday deals, Cyber Monday, there's always deals over Christmas. Okay, so with this palette, oh, excuse me, almost dropped it. With this palette, it is these darker colours here, and it is a mix of shiny colours and also just the matte base colours. And what I do is I take this colour here and I apply it all over the lid, just so it brings a little bit of depth. Now, we do have different eyelid shapes. I have fairly deep eye sockets and large eyelids. Everybody's different. Sometimes with the shape of my eyes it can make it a bit more difficult to apply eye makeup, because it kind of, when I open my eye, it disappears into my eye socket, and also makes it a bit difficult to apply eyeliner, because the eyeliner disappears under the fold. Yeah. Right, if you just want to close your eyes for me, just going to apply this all over. I did just get a little bit on your nose there, excuse me. Okay, so the good thing about this is you don't need to be really precise, because it is a messy eye makeup look. And we're done with this brush now. I'm not going to use this one again. The rest of it is all going to be done with this. This is used so heavily, and it is called a smudge brush, which we are going to do a lot of. So what I bring in next is a mix of these two colours, and I'm not applying this all over the lid, I'm just kind of following your lash line, and that's going to be both at the top and the bottom. Okay, so close your eyes for me. This is going to feel a bit weird because I'm kind of going to brush over your lashes as well. Like I say, it's all good to be messy, don't need to be precise here, just coming under on your lower lid here. All good. Just do the other eye. Eyes closed. Nice. Now with the excess that is on the brush when I'm doing the top, just looking at myself in the mirror here, excuse me, I do kind of bring it and pull it out, so it does give a wing effect. Okay, now we are going to use this palette again, but we're just going to switch products for a moment, but we are going to keep hold of our smudge brush. Okay, so these are the next two things. We have the Maybelline Tattoo Liner, and it is this burgundy colour. And we also have the same brand, Maybelline Tattoo Liner, but this is like an emerald green. They're both like shiny. Now we'll start with the top. I'm just going to line, I may sharpen this, excuse me. I'm just going to line again along your top and the bottom. These ones can be a little tricky to sharpen because they are like, there's this waxy film on the outside. Yeah. Okay, so again, don't be afraid to be messy. I'm just going to pull on the corner of your eye slightly. It's just too messy. Can be thick as well because we're going to blend this up anyway. And then with your under eye, with this colour, I'm only going to come to halfway. Look up for me. Because the other half we're going to use the green. Okay. Oops, I dropped the lid, excuse me. Forgive me. Right. Look up again. So this one's going to come into the inner eye there. Now I find it easier to actually just line the skin underneath the eye rather than the waterline of your eye. And again, smudge brush, just gonna really just smudge that all in. No precision, just under the eye. We can bring it up onto the lid slightly because we're going to do something else in this moment as well. Again, pull it up at the sides, give you a little wing effect. Okay, so bringing this in again, the final touch I like to do is just using this glittery colour here. I pop it on the end of the smudge brush, and if you close your eyes, I'm just going to line it along the edge of your lash line, just to add a little bit of sparkle. Again, if it is a little messy, that's not a problem either. Or either, however you like to say it, either, neither, neither. Alright, I don't do the sparkly under. No. Alrighty. I don't use any other eyeliners or anything like that. The only thing I do use is a mascara. Best mascara you can use, Maybelline Sky High, in all the colours. This one is the Plum. So this is the, excuse me, it's a little dirty where we've had put product on. This is the Tweezerman eyelash curler. It is around £18, but trust me, it's worth it. It's the best eyelash curler I've ever used. And we're not putting mascara on the lower lashes. No. I always think when we put mascara on the lower lashes, unless you have really short lower lashes, it can drag the eyes down a little, so we don't really need that. Excuse me, I just had a little a itch in my throat then. Okay, I'm just going to neaten that up slightly. Perfect, you look like me. What I want to do is just brush your hair out quickly, just so you can have more of an idea on the look. Just going to neaten your part up slightly there. No, I normally use a pintail comb, but sometimes I do use the end of this brush. I mean, I don't want to do too much with your hair because I am going to get you to sit down with our hair consultant, but I just want you to look in the mirror and have a little look at the eye makeup. Now, I would typically spend a little more time on the makeup, but just with what time we have today, because you do have to see a couple of different stylists and specialists. Okay, so have a little look in the mirror and tell me what you think. Yeah, it is quite a seductive kind of look. That's how I describe it anyway. So you do, yeah, I think it actually really suits you, especially with your eye shape. You have more of an upward tilt in your eyes, while I have a downward tilt. So I kind of have to overcompensate with pulling the makeup up. So yours is very siren. Yeah, fox eye, very nice. Okay, well, I think what I will need to do, just looking at the time, excuse me, I'm going to need to hand you over to our hairstylist, and then after the hairstylist you will need to see our personal shopper, and they will show you some clothing that you can consider or try on. You're so welcome. Well, it's been a pleasure meeting you, and I hope I get to see the results of your glow up. You're very welcome. Alright, I'm just going to grab our other consultant.